Welcome to another video from Cardboard East. My name is Jay. I play board games from Asia and share it fun with all of you. Today we're counting down my 10 favorite games from 2025 so far. These honorable mentions are games that I know that came out many years ago, but it finally made it to the US. First and foremost is Rumble Nation Deluxe. Now, there's no word that says deluxe on here, but this is the deluxe version of Rumble Nation. Do you want a base game? No, you absolutely do not. Do you want this one? Yes, you absolutely do. If you do play with this, definitely try out my Daimyo variant, which is on BGG. This is essentially El Grande in 30 minutes. I had El Grande, I sold it when I moved here, and I thought to myself, should I buy El Grande again? And then I realized, you know what? I'd rather just play 2 games of Rumble Nation in the time it takes to play 1 game of El Grande. This is a fantastic light game, and the second half of the game, where it does this cascading victory, is unlike any other thing I've seen in any other game, and that completely changes how you approach the game. Absolutely fantastic. If you want a nice area control game that takes place in 30 minutes or less, Rumble Nation is exactly what you need to be getting. Next honorable mention is Gross Guy. Now, I did a whole video on this game, and I still come out to play it, and it's still really good. My favorite part about the game is still the Tetris thing, where these pieces fall down into your engine room, and you're trying to Tetris these pieces in here, and you're getting bonuses for each line. You're getting bonuses for the icons that you cover up. It's just so much fun. And seeing your little airship go faster and faster in these circles is just, it's just fantastic engine building dice management game. Engine building, dice placement, and drafting game. Yes, words. I know. This is definitely one of the heavier games that ever come out of Japan, and it's also one of the best games that ever come out of Japan. So if dice placement, engine building, and Tetris is what you're looking for, Gross Guy is something I would strongly recommend you try out. Next up is bean to bar. What does that mean? It's taking Macau coffee beans and taking it into chocolate bars. That's right, you are a chocolatier. I actually think that's the wrong word. You own a chocolate company, and this comes from Analog Lunchbox, and this is the best Analog Lunchbox game in years. Now, why is it an honorable mention? Because it is 2025. I've only played it once, and I definitely want to play it a few more times before I have a final verdict on it. But it does play at 2, which is much better than some of the other analog games out there. Analog Lunchbox was notorious for like 3 to 4, that's it. But this played really solid at 2, and I definitely want to try it again. It has this interesting, I don't want to say Mancala mechanic. You have 9 action tiles in a grid from 3 by 3 by 3. You're going to move your guy around in a circle, and then wherever he lands, then they can trigger any of those actions in that row. Now, granted, if someone else is somewhere else and they trigger that before you, then that action is going to be a little bit more expensive for you to take. What are the actions you're taking? I'm so glad you asked. Some of them are getting chocolate from farmers, turning the chocolate into chocolate bars, and then buying stores, selling your chocolate at those stores. And you can hire professionals in each one of those steps in your logistics chain to make that process even better. You can hire a manager to make each one of those professionals even more. I kind of posit managers because to me, like, a lot of managers are just bozos who are just KPI hunting, and that's all they care about. But these managers are the managers that you kind of want. They make you better at your job and make you a little bit more efficient, which is great. And sorry for that little rant there, but this is a game that has a lot of it going on, extremely heavy. And despite the theme of chocolate, it is a little dry. It is a little dry, and it's very crunchy, and it's for those people who really are into the game for the mechanics. This is a heavy game, by far. I think it is the heaviest game on this entire list. But I've only played it once, so far it's here, an honorable mention at number 11. If you're watching this video, it means that you love watching content about board games from Asia. But I've noticed that a lot of you haven't subscribed yet, so I strongly urge you to subscribe. It'll really help this channel grow and help us produce better and better videos. If you subscribe, my promise to you is to make sure that each of our videos moving forward is going to get better and better and better, and we're going to improve that quality. And that's my promise to you. If you'd like to help this channel grow even more, please consider joining our Patreon and joining our Discord, where we get up to a lot of fun little shenanigans. It's a small Discord now. It's not open to the public. It's just for the patrons. And these nice, small, cozy conversations about games from Asia, where to find them, and what are you excited about the upcoming conventions. Thanks for watching, and let's get on to the top 10. Number 10 is the Great Evening Banquet from Sashi & Sashi. Now, this isn't the best Sashi & Sashi game, but it is a game that came out this year, and I gotta say that it is incredibly smooth. It is just very, very smooth. I don't think I can add anything or take anything away from the Great Evening Banquet. Essentially, you're drafting rich people, these little tokens, and then you're ushering them to their seats at this banquet. Now, each table has like certain conditions. Like this person wants like 2 people with wine glasses, and this one's like can't have people of like these tiles a particular color, which is racist, maybe? I don't know. These are people who are like young couples are here, or this people are here. So there are tables that have like certain rule restrictions. So you're trying to do the best you can, and depending on how well you do, you'll get bonuses, you get points. And there are 2 variants in the game. So like the tables are configured in one configuration and another configuration. I kind of wish there were multiple configurations that you could expand on. But even without that, it's a very, very smooth, gorgeous looking game. And I'm really happy when I play this. It cleanses the palate really quickly. It's over in like 20 minutes, and it's smooth, really, really smooth. And I can't deny that it's a solid game, even though it's not the best from Sashi & Sashi. Number 9, it came out of nowhere, and that is, Castle Razors. Now, I did a whole video about this game, and I gotta admit that I really like this game. Now, for that video, I played this multiple times, and it just grew on me more and more and more. Now, you are playing as pigs doing a tower defense game against an army of wolves that are going to penetrate your defenses sooner or later. 9 times to 10, it happens. Kind of depressing that way, but it's just a really fun puzzle. And I love the toy factor, the 3D factor, that you're actually building your castle up. Although it is weird because you're putting straw and then brick and then stone. That's not very stable. That means they're bad engineers and probably deserve to get eaten. Anyway, wolves love bacon. I love bacon too, so I can't blame the wolves that much. But the systems in this game, the tile drafting in this game, the tile placement in the game is really smart and clever. And I really, really enjoy it. And so Castle Razors is definitely one that I would recommend. Number 8, all the way from ArcLight, one of the biggest publishers in Japan, and that is Snow Colony. This is a tiny little game, and I believe that a publisher may have picked it up and will bring it to the US next year or next. But either way, this is a solid engine building game. This is one of these quick little 30-minute to 60-minute games, plays from like 2 to 5. I've never played at a 5-player account, but there isn't much like player interaction. It's just like you're doing your thing. And essentially have this little penguin, he's gonna go around in a circle. And as he goes around the circle, he could drop more buildings off, pick some things up, drop them off at other buildings, and build those buildings up. And as you're building each igloo up to having all these different abilities, you gotta build your engine, and your colony, Snow Colony, is growing and becoming more self-sufficient and just better and better and better. And for as simple as it is, as light as it is, it's got killer artwork, because like the buildings here, the penguins are really cute, the igloo bits are cute. It even comes with its own little dice tray. Man, oh man, there's so much about this game that it does right, and it comes in this little tiny box. So this is a game that if you're looking for quick, quirky little engine building games, Snow Colony is something that I would strongly recommend you check out. Coming up at number 7 is Shallow Sea from Bad Comet, all the way from Korea. Now, Bad Comet is kind of in this realm of like, I don't think they could do any wrong. Like, they have been killing it lately. They have Life of the Amazonia, they have Wondrous Creatures, and now they have Shallow Sea, which is, I want to say Tetris underwater, but it's a little bit more than Tetris. I did a whole video about this. It finally arrived and it got the expansion and like all these extra animals. It has a campaign. Things that I were worried about in that initial video that I made have been solved. There's like these trays that are just super helpful. This is a fantastic game, fantastic production. Like when I look at this game on the table, it's just gorgeous to look at. Production quality is just off the charts. Like Backgammon makes excellent, excellent games. And Shallow Sea is the recent addition to that catalog. Now we've done big boxes. Let's go to the tiny boxes because yeah, good things come in small packages sometimes. So all the way at number 6 is probably my favorite game from Tokyo Game Market Spring this year, and that is Odyssey, also from Korea. This is a trick-taking game from Korea from Gunnil. Now, Gunnil is known for making two-player trick-taking games. He was around when everyone was saying, there aren't any two-player trick-taking games. He's like, hold my beer. This is what I'm doing. And he's made a ton of great two-player trick-taking games, the most popular of which is Jekyll vs. Hyde. Now, Odyssey is a 3 to 4 player trick-taking game, and you know what? It's good. It's really simple. It has like this Knizia twist to it. That's just really, really clever. The clever twist is that you're going to want X amount of tricks. So I think in a 4-player game, you want 2 tricks. In a 3-player game, you want 3 tricks. So there it has everything you kind of want. You want the bidding kind of almost to get what you need. And then the avoidance, which you have at hearts, where you're trying to avoid taking tricks. And it's really, really clever. One of the cool things that I love about this game, the big hook that I love about this game, is that you're going to get these tokens. And these tokens are going to be cards in your hand. So you will have to play these tokens. And when you play these tokens, you're going to use cards from a collective pool that like this market, which they call like Mount Olympus, because, you know, it's called Odyssey. And you're going to take one of these cards from Olympus. Now, every time you take a card from Olympus, that card becomes trump, which is wild. And that little hook had so many little ramifications and wrinkles that interact with how you play the game. So if you make your bid, like if you get your 2 tricks or 3 tricks out immediately, but you haven't spent your Olympus tokens, you're going to have to play some really careful dancing because like you're going to be doing some clever play because any time you use it, it's going to be trump. So you have to be really careful with how you use that. You could probably, maybe if someone had already played like a 10 purple and you pick up 8 purple and you force purple to be trump, well, that person who played the 10 card is going to win that trick, force him to win. So it could be mean, but it's also really subtle of how clever it is. Now, I really like this design. I think it's a fantastic, fantastic trick-taking game. That's Odyssey, my number 6. Number 5, a blast from the past, back again, but with monkeys, and that is Jungo, aka Hachi Train. Now, Hachi Train was turned into Nana Toridori, where they removed the 8s, so they can't call it Hachi Toridori. They have to call it Nana Toridori. But now you have Jungo, which has no 7s or 8s, but it's just Jungo. But there are 8s in the game. In fact, they put the 8 on the cover, so people in the know, and now you know, so you know that Hachi Train can be played with this deck. And there rules, I think there's you can still play Hachi Train, like the really hard rules with this version. So that's how I play. And what do I mean by that? With Hachi Train, they have something like, if this happens, then A must happen. Whereas in Jungo or Nana Toridori, it's a little bit more relaxed. Whereas if this happens, then A or B can happen. You can choose. Whereas Hachi Train's like, no, there's no choosing. It's harder and there's more tense and it's tighter game. And you can play Jungo as that tighter version of that, and it's the way to play the game. And when you do that, you're going to realize it's better than Scout. There, I said it. I said it. Hachi Train is better than Scout. Jungo, therefore, is better than Scout. Yeah, I said it. Now, this game is my number 4. It's been one of my favorite games of all time. And it was at Gen Con this past week or this month. And they sold out of this game at Gen Con on the first day within like 2 hours. Just gone. And that is Wondrous Museum. This is a museum building game, and it's just a card game. That's it. Nothing but cards. Everything you're spending is cards, and it has this Forest Shuffle, Race for the Galaxy feel where you have a hand of cards, And you just cannot be married to the cards in your hand. You just have to take the best tactical decisions. Like, I get rid of all these cards, I play this one card, and I move on. And just like Race for the Galaxy and for a Shuffle, those cards that you place down are going to have some synergy with them, and you're going to slowly build from that. The cool hook that's different between this and Race for the Galaxy and for a Shuffle is that you have these runes, and there are these 5 runes, and when you flip it over like pink, then all the cards in your tableau that have that pink rune will activate from left to right. And that's how you build that engine. So like you activate pink, you activate the blue, you activate the green, and all these cards will be interacting with each other in various ways. Now, this is better than the original version of Mini Seed. I did a whole video on this, so definitely check it out. But this is a better version because there is deck construction. So every time you play the game, there are 30 different possible combinations, which is more than enough to last a lifetime. And Wonders Museum is an excellent card game that you should definitely check out. Now, I did review this game last year, but according to BGG, it's 2025. I'm just going to stick with BGG from now on because, man, the years and remembering when things actually came out is just really frustrating. I don't have time to deal with it. But you know what? Overparked from Origame and all the way from Singapore is a fantastic tile laying game. It's just so clean and so smooth, similar to like the great Evening Banquet and Sashi's designs. Like Gerald Chow has done his, I don't know, like polyomino masterpiece with this because it's just so smooth. Everything about this game is just smooth. Like how you're drafting. There's a steering wheel and you can rotate the steering wheel and you draft different cards. Like there are these cones in the parking lot and you get these keys and you can use those keys to move the cars. It's just, everything about it is just ultra smooth. I did a whole video about this. Definitely check it out. If you have a chance to get your hands on it at Spiel, run and get it. Because this, it's just a solid game. And I can never strongly recommend this enough. And that's Overparked. My number 3. Number 2 is a little bit of a cheat. It's a little bit different because it did come out last year and there's a new version that came out this year. And this version is Orapa Space. Now, if you like to Orapa Mine with the deduction, this is Orapa Space and it's with planets. It's a much prettier version. Now, it is a little difficult because there are circles in here instead of like triangles and squares and diamonds, but the circles are actually octagons. And if you can understand that and move past that, then you're going to be fine. And this game, the deduction in this game is just so brilliant. Just check out any Orapa Mine video and everyone will tell you how fantastic it is. My wife is not really into like geometry games, and this one she really enjoys because it's just so good. And what makes this better than Orapa Mine is that one, well, it's in space. And then 2, the little expansion in this one is the black hole. And you put this little dot onto the board, and then when someone shoots a light, it can bend it and bounce it back. And it's so fascinating to try and deduce where the black hole is. It's really difficult. But once you do it, it just feels like $1,000,000. I guess you feel like the scientists who are like, oh yeah, the black hole must be there. Even though it absorbs all this light and bends light and you can see things from behind it. It's just fantastic. It is such a great deduction game. Probably my favorite deduction game of all time, dare I say? It's really good. Really, really good. I can't recommend it enough. Now, this is 2 to 5 players, but I will tell you, it's really a 2-player game. And that is Orapa Space. Number 1, drum roll please. And I gotta say that without question, the number 1 game from 2025, according to BGG, 2025, has been and will continue to be Eternal Decks. This is a fantastic game. Now, I understand that it's a cooperative game / solo game, and cooperative games are kind of hit and miss with a lot of different game groups. But for me, even as a solo game, it feels good. It feels good. I really like it. It's just gorgeous. First of all, this is a Horokin production. Horokin or / Joypul, the name of his company. They just make really, really solid games with over-the-top production. I mean, there's this, it's not a board, it's a cloth board that you just spread out, and you're like, oh, well, this is different. And you have these really bright, colorful cards that are there, and it's like, oh yeah, well, that's different. And it has this great deck building mechanic to it, where you're playing out cards, there's no talking between your players, and then you're slowly trying to fill these rows with different things to unlock all these rows, to unlock your Eternals, and the Eternals come out, and they're really problematic, so you have to do other things to get these Eternals so they can turn off the curse, and then you're going to fill that up, you get it to a certain point, you get a key, there are other moments where you get keys, you get enough keys, and you unlock it, and there are multiple scenarios in Eternal decks. I haven't gotten to them all yet, but the cool thing is that the solo version of this game, perfect. Fantastic. One of the best solo games I've ever played. And this is so good. Now, you do need other people who vibe with you, people who can read your mind. There are people who are just like, I don't get this game, I'm just going to play whatever. And they suck at the game. They suck at the game. They're not vibing with you. You really got to vibe. And I've played a game where people like that. It didn't work. And then one of the people in the group was like, you know what? I think you and me got it. And we just played a game, just the two of us. And we rocked it. And this game, when you experience that, it's unlike any other game I've played before. You just, because you're like, ah, and you just feel it. You feel it. And it's good stand-up moments in this game, great experiences in this game. It's what you are looking for when you play a game. And this is my number one of 2025 so far, and that is Eternal Decks. Woo! Once again, my name's Jay. I play board games from Asia and share what I find with all of you. I'm going to put a link up here to a video that I think you'll enjoy. See you there.